So I didn't know this, but apparently PragerU um, made a video about 3 months ago. Hold on, I think it was about 3 months ago, saying how to steal an election, mail-in ballots. So I want to go over this because I gave PragerU too much credit and didn't think that they would propagate, the whole election fraud thing. I was wrong, apparently. So let's get right into this.
Is there a problem with universal mail-in balloting? Sounds simple enough. You fill out a ballot, stick it in the mail, somebody counts it on election day. In fact, we
Yep.
already do that with absentee ballots, right? So why would universal mail-in balloting be any different? Well, the biggest difference is that with absentee ballots, the voter specifically asks for a ballot. With universal mail-in balloting,
Hold on. That's the same thing that happens with mail-in voting, right? I think you get the letter to receive a ballot. I don't think you get the actual fucking ballot.
ballots are mailed out en masse. Millions of people who would normally go
I like said, I don't think it's the actual ballot. I think you get a letter to or something like a confirmation form, so they can send you a ballot, and not the ballot itself.
to the polls, vote by mail instead. No national election has ever been conducted this way. And there are very
Wait. Yeah, no national election has ever been conducted solely through mail-in voting. But one, it's been in place since the Civil War. People have been doing it since the Civil War. Not in mass, of course, not in mass. And two, there's a fucking pandemic. So, I mean, I think it would be a stand of reason that there would be more mail-in voting going on.
very good reasons to be concerned that one ever should. Reason number one, bureaucratic incompetence. I don't think I have to sell you on the idea that when the government bureaucracy takes on a big new project with little preparation, the results aren't pretty. We've seen those results as it relates to mail-in balloting already. Wisconsin was
Oh boy, are we ready to see some flaws in mail-in voting? Are we ready to see when the government does bad, which it does? Is he trying to Yeah, okay. He said he didn't need to explain to us. So, I mean, I think he knows that we know that the government often does bad.
one of the first states to hold a primary in the coronavirus era. It saw an influx in mail-in votes as a result. Predictably, this led to serious snafus. Thousands of requested ballots were not sent. 1,600 ballots were found in a mail processing center.
Oh boy. Looks like wh- were these ballots counted afterwards? Hold on.
The day after the election. 23,000 votes were rejected due to missing signatures or other missing information. And those are the
So 20 so ballots that weren't filled in properly were rejected, and there's a problem with that? How? That's like I'm not too sure how like going to the actual polls is, or not to the polls, to like the where your voting center. How you fucking vote in person? I don't know how you fucking do that. I've never voted in person, but but if you made a mistake on one of those ballots, I'd assume they'd throw it out. They wouldn't fucking count it if you didn't write your signature. So what's the problem with doing that with mail-in ballots?
mistakes we know about in just one state and in one primary election, when fewer people than in the general election typically bother to cast a
Okay, wait. Can you give me more states, or was it just Wisconsin? Can you give me more examples, or was it just Wisconsin?
vote. In Pennsylvania, where they delayed the date of their primary to get better prepared for the expected increase in mail-in balloting, they still couldn't handle the volume. Half of Philadelphia's votes were still uncounted a week after the election. In Virginia, more than 500,000 applicants.
Okay. So they... Well, shit. Okay. Okay, so they were counting votes after the election? Okay. And... Wait, what's the problem there? I really don't understand. But if they were sent in before or on the day of the election, doesn't it make sense that it wouldn't matter the day they were counted?
Applications for ballots were mailed with incorrect information. Some of the applications went...
Okay. And that seems like the fault of the... Wait. Is he saying that the government mailed the wrong ballots?
a week after the election. In Virginia, more than 500,000 applications for ballots were mailed with incorrect...
See? Okay. Look, you hear in the beginning how he said that how mail-in voting works is they mail out ballots in mass, and now he's like telling the truth. Now he's saying that they mail out applications. Look at that slippery little language. I think he's trying to trick us. I don't know. I might be dumb. Or most likely he's just trying to lie. But I don't know. I might be dumb. He might have said something different in the beginning. But see, applications. So I assume what he's trying to say is that the government mailed out incorrect applications.
Correct information. Some of the applications went to the wrong addresses. Some went to dead voters.
Okay. If an application gets sent to a dead voter, it's just not going to be filled out. Right? Right. And how many ballots got sent to the wrong addresses? Because there's fuck-ups with the postal system. A lot. So like, how many times? It's like 2 or 2,000. How many applications got sent to the wrong person? Because I doubt it's that much. And also, like I said, dead voters are dead. They can't fucking vote. That's why it's an application and not a ballot. Because if it was a ballot, maybe someone could diddle around with the ballot and pretend to be a dead voter and vote, But since it's an application, you can't do that because it's not a ballot.
One even went to a pet. Under the best of circumstances...
Really? Hold on. What state are we talking about? Let me fact check this really quick.
Ballots were mailed with were still uncounted a week after the election. In Virginia, more than
Hold on. I'll be right. Okay, yeah, it doesn't seem like any ballots were sent to pets. I don't think that any ballots were sent to pets. I think that's just bullshit. But I mean, it's PragerU, so I'm not surprised.
Under the best of circumstances, the bureaucracy struggles with mail-in balloting. Under less than the best of circumstances, that's not a scenario we want to face. Which brings us to reason number 2 for concern: shoddy security. Here's what the New York Times said about voting by mail in an article in 2012. Keep in mind, they were talking about traditional absentee balloting, not a mass mail-in of ballots. There is a bipartisan consensus that voting by mail, whatever its impact, is more easily abused than other forms. No kidding. In May 2020...
Okay. More easily abused. More easily. They didn't say it's easily abused. It's just more easily. Like, okay, if you mail in a ballot, it's the longer it takes to get to the polling place. Alright? Polling station, whatever the fuck it's called. Where you vote, damn it. But it takes longer to get there. Seems like it'd be a no fucking brainer that, yeah, it's easier to easier to fucking tamper with But that doesn't mean it's easy to do. It's easier, not easy.
New Jersey conducted its first ever all-mail election. 1 month later, 2 elected officials were among 4 charged with criminal conduct involving mail-in ballots. One operative confessed to stealing ballots, both completed and uncompleted, out of mailboxes. Other operatives compiled a database of signatures of prospective voters and then used them to fill out ballots on behalf of their preferred candidates. And we only know about it because they got caught. Election fraud only figures to get easier because of a new weapon in the cheater's arsenal.
Did that happen? Oh, looks like it's true. Well, I'm not gonna fucking log into the Times, because I don't fucking care. But looks like it's true. But, oh, never mind, hold on. Okay, so yeah, the ballots were rejected. So, okay, so it was true. Except that, only a very small number of ballots were tampered with. So it was a very small amount of ballots. Most of the ballots that were thrown out because they were filled out improperly. So, boggers.
Ballot harvesting. This is the term for when a third party, usually a campaign worker or activist, goes to people's homes and collects their ballots. With ballot harvesting, you don't even have to put your ballot in the mailbox. Vote harvesters will pick it up for you. The opportunities for mischief, say pressuring people to vote a certain way, destroying ballots, or filling out ballots for those who didn't bother to vote, are endless. Vote harvesting that targets...
But did that happen? But did it happen? No, it didn't. That didn't happen. The problem here is just, sure, that could happen, but it just didn't.
Senior citizens for their ballots even has its own name, granny farming. Reason number 3 to be
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, that's a pretty funny name.
concerned. The likelihood of long delays in determining final results. Americans
Okay. The problem is?
are used to knowing who won and who lost within hours of the polls closing on election day. Of course,
We're in the middle of a fucking pandemic, you dumbass. Things aren't normal. Okay? Things aren't normal, and they're not gonna be for quite some time. Okay? Things aren't normal. Things weren't normal around election month. So, like, calm your ass down.
some close races take longer to sort out. But the longer it takes, the less legitimate an election seems. That is exactly what happened.
That doesn't mean that it is less legitimate. Just because it seems less legitimate doesn't mean it is less legitimate.
2000 presidential election, Bush v. Gore. Then, the dispute was focused on a single state, Florida. It was finally settled by the Supreme Court over a month later. If we have a national election that relies heavily on mail-in voting, we're almost...
Okay, that was one state, and it was off by about 100, like hundreds of votes. It wasn't like, it wasn't like millions of votes, millions of mail-in votes compared to like a couple hundred ballots, you know, like, there's a big difference there. I don't think it was considered less legitimate because it took a while. I think it was considered less legitimate because the practices there weren't very legitimate.
certain to see a significant delay before we get the final results. From the post office to the vote counters, the system is just not set up for it. In a close contest involving massive mail-in voting, lawsuits disputing the results are inevitable. This could delay final results even longer. And instead of involving a single...
Damn. He got that part right. Oh, damn. Trump throwing a fit about how he lost was kind of funny though.
State, it's likely to involve multiple states. This is a recipe for civil unrest as frustration and fear of a stolen election grips voters.
Yup, yeah, yeah. Remember when the Capitol got fucking stormed? That was, damn, that was like a month ago. Holy shit. Oh, God. We're gonna look back on this. Do you remember where you were when the Capitol was stormed? Like, you remember where you were on 9/11? Do you remember where you were on the Capitol siege on the Capitol?
Incompetence, shoddy security, long delays. These are just some of the concerns any reasonable person should have over universal mail-in balloting. What's the solution? Simple. If you need to vote absentee, request a ballot. Otherwise, vote like you always have, in person. I'm Eric Eggers, investigative reporter for the Government Accountability Institute for Prager University.
This video was made possible through a generous donation from Fritz and Glenn.
Why the fuck would people donate to PragerU? Disgusting. Anyway, okay. If you've gotten this far, if you're still watching at the end of the fucking video, please tell me if I should separate my political content and my more humorous content onto two different channels, because I'm not sure if I want to scare new people away by having a political channel. So let me know if I should make a political channel and then just keep the humorous comedy stuff, not really comedy, but commentary, like decap shit, and maybe video games in the future on this channel. Alright, peace, have a good night, gamers.